Welcome to the Veterans TV. We're here with a number of people to discuss problems of veterans and how they get into the VA system after they've left the military service. And we have several people with us, and so I'll have them introduce themselves. I'm here as a kind of moderator. I'm a veteran. I'm in the system. I was wounded in Vietnam in 1968, and so I'm a part of the Veterans Administration system. So I'm here to kind of represent the veterans, and we're all here kind of to answer any questions that you have and try to get you to feed into the system and ask things that you want to know about the Veterans Administration or just questions for veterans. So what I'll do now is have the rest of this group introduce themselves, and first we'll go to Jared and have him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Jared Levinson. I'm a local veterans attorney here in Easton, Maryland, and along with Bill Uren, I host VETS TV. And we're very fortunate today to be joined by Phil Munley. Mr. Munley is the Director of Services and Benefits for the Maryland State Department of Veterans Affairs, which offers a number of services to local Maryland veterans throughout the state of Maryland. There are local offices throughout the state, and during the program, Phil and Bill and I will talk about the services that are offered. I'd like to introduce Mr. Munley. Maybe you could start by just telling us a little bit about yourself and how you wound up as the Director of Services and Benefits here in Maryland.
Well, Jared, I want to first thank you for the opportunity to be here today, and Bill, I want to thank you as well, and I want to welcome you home from Vietnam. How I kind of wound up being here back in Maryland, Director of our Service and Benefit Program. I'm a Navy veteran myself, 20 years. Joined out of the Catonsville office in 1981 and retired in California in 2002. Immediately after my retirement in 2002, I was very fortunate to hook up with the local county veteran service office in Contra Costa County in California, where I worked as a veteran service representative for 3 or 4 years, assisting veterans, their dependents, and their survivors with the benefits they so richly earned through military service. After a number of years there, the department head or the county veteran service officer retired, and I was fortunate enough to have been promoted to the county veteran service officer for my county in California. I did that for another 6 years or so, and then this opportunity to move back to my home state here in Maryland, where most of my family still lives, came open, and it was just too good an opportunity to pass up. And we've been home now since about December.
Great. Well, welcome back to the state of Maryland.
Thank you.
Let me ask you, in your position as Director of Services and Benefits, what are the most important or the most requested services that veterans bring to you in your role?
Well, that's a great question. Now, keep in mind Maryland, the Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs, which of course is a non-federal agency. We're there to assist vets. One of the most common things we get is, you guys are the VA, and of course we're not the VA. We work for the state of Maryland, and our job is essentially to be the advocate for that vet. The state of Maryland, the Maryland Department of Veteran Affairs, has been around since 1924. It was called the Maryland Veteran Commission. In 1999 we actually became a state agency, and of course now we have a secretary office in Annapolis who reports right to the governor. And we run a number of different programs. For example, we run a cemetery program. We have 5 state cemeteries, one here on the Eastern Shore in Hurlock, Crownsville. We have Sheldingham, Garrison Forest. We have Rocky Gap out on the on the western part of the state. I think I got them all. We also run a veterans home down in Charlotte Hall in southern Maryland, which is a tremendous facility. If anybody's ever had the opportunity to go down there and just, of course, visit historic southern Maryland, St. Mary's County, our veteran home is there in Charlotte Hall. It's a gorgeous facility. I was there just last week, and you come out of the gate there and you make the left-hand turn back on the I-5, I believe that is, and you still have the old the Amish with the tractor and buggy, which is just wonderful to see. So we run our state veteran home there. We also run an outreach and advocacy program, which is relatively new to our department, but I'll tell you it is a critically important piece to what we do, because it's our way of kind of keeping in touch with the local vets.
Okay, and speaking of keeping in touch, let's say a local vet like Bill is interested in one of the programs, the cemetery program or Charlotte Hall, or getting information about how to make use or to find out more information through the outreach program. How would one, for example, apply to Charlotte Hall or to get involved with get the benefits of the cemetery program?
Right, our website, which is just a tremendous website, Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs. If you can Google that, it'll walk you through that whole process. The application for the Charlotte Hall veteran home there, the veteran cemetery, all their information is listed there with the phone and the contact information for all for the veteran cemeteries. It's all right on our website. It's been updated. Our outreach department periodically updates it, depending on, we just passed the D-Day anniversary on June 6th, of course. So they update different information about different events that have just happened. One of the new things that I want to just kind of get out there too is our email list now. That you can actually sign up to be on our email list, where the Maryland Department of Veterans Affairs will actually email local vets with changes in VA programs, with different events that our local service organizations, American Legions, VFWs may be running in the local area. They'll advertise that and they'll email that out. So it's a tremendous way to kind of keep in touch on what's happening, jobs, in our economy where veterans are having such a difficult time finding employment. We have a number of employers that send us employment opportunities, and then we email those out to our local guys. So it is a tremendous way for us to keep in touch.